Oh,
It's on.
oh baby.
Well, I'm kicking you already.
What the hell's going on here?
There you go.
Happy Friday morning. Happy Friday morning. The last day of April. We are fired up in a much different setting right now. It's psychedelic lava. All kinds of stuff's going on behind me because today we are going to be fired up about something super industry specific. The food equipment world at large, food equipment service, equipment sales, all coming together, one industry. And let me tell you, it can be treacherous and crazy to navigate some days. But we are all here because we all love it.
Roger Smeltzer in the building.
Roger Smeltzer, the creator of the Connection Engine. I love that. We're using it. I give you credit. Happy Friday, Roger. Out in the West Coast, Arizona, where I just came back from not too long ago. Beautiful out there. We're fired up today because there's some stuff going on in the Food Equipment Digital Disruptor Group. So if you're watching there, get ready. If you want to join in the conversation, this is one you are going to want to be a part of. So if we want to get you on the live show, we're going to get you on the live show. We have a link. We're copying it. We're pasting it. We're putting it in the feed. And I don't know who's going to see it.
It goes on Facebook.
It's on Facebook right now, that link. So that link is your link to getting on live with me as we begin this discussion. So I'm going to kick this right off because there are people going in right now. It's got a 256 post reach at the moment. Dozens of comments. This is Mr. Ryan McPhail. Ryan, appreciate you, man. So to understand a little bit more of what we're talking about, and I'm going to go into some of these comments. We don't have all day, obviously, but I'm going to try and keep this engaging, keep this moving, get you guys excited and fired up to talk about industry expectations. Ryan says, hey, Fed Nation, I was hoping to get some perspectives on situations. I understand that a dealer's expectations as well as a customer's expectations are not always in line with the service tech's expectations. But there seems to be a battle from the dealer perspective with the service techs that seem to be getting worse and worse. Maybe just in the Pacific Northwest or maybe everywhere. So when you break this stuff down, obviously Ryan seems to be dealing with a service provider that, I don't know, I mean, there's things here that are just not right. The wires, he says that the tech said the wires still look like they are burning. Don't call service anymore, just let them fully burn so they replace it. I mean, I can never stand behind that. We're here as a extension to the manufacturer as a service provider. Let me just say that first. Service companies are extensions to the manufacturer. But at the end of the day, when we look at the partnerships and the relationships, service and manufacturer, we in our business, that relationship is like this. Now there's dealers and reps and doing everything, and we work together. But when you look at it, we're the ones that sign the dotted line that says we will abide by this, we will train this, we will stock these parts, we will be this, and we will be your eyes and ears in the field. Good service providers understand that. They teach it to their technicians, they teach it to their team. Does that mean that a technician is never going to give his opinion in the field? No. And I have fought and battled with this for years and years and years. Most technicians understand the politics of it, especially the guys that have been doing it for a long time. But I think ultimately we have to do a better job together, collectively. And it does. At the end of the day, sales sells the first unit, service sells the second. And I think we've heard that many times. But so let's go look into more of what Ron was saying, so we can have a conversation and look into the comments that people were jumping in. So, as a dealer, I continue to battle the comments and opinions of the service techs that we rely on to service and take care of equipment. It does not seem to matter what the equipment is or what the brand is if it is not working correctly. The service tech too often gives their personal opinions, usually not in line with what the dealer is selling. They will inform the customer that they never should have bought this or that, or should have got this instead, or these always break down, etc. I personally just dealt with another issue where the service tech went to a unit having issues under warranty. Problem started when the tech went out for a particular issue, looked at one thing, and then left without troubleshooting other options. Had to return 2 more times, in our customer's opinion, to finish the job. The final visit, the tech informed the customer about those wires that I talked about. And Ryan goes on to say, I know there are different perspectives on this. That's why I would like to hear tech's opinions on how to handle this. This is not an isolated incident, continual problem. No, it's not all, but maybe the expectation of dealers and techs working together is just too far out there and unreasonable. So I think there's going to be, you're going to end up getting a lot of different perspectives here. Service companies are definitely going to be swayed one way. And I'm going to go right down to my brother TJ, because he said it pretty good here. And where are you, TJ? I'm reading. Stick with me. TJ says, customers have long ago learned how to push the right buttons with manufacturers and dealers to get better pricing or concessions. Their favorite sacrificial lamb is the servicer. Agree 100%. Manufacturers and dealers are already frustrated with the level of service they get from service companies because they are severely understaffed and being held to standards that they had no voice in setting. For example, 4-hour response times. Agree. So what better scapegoat than the servicer? Customer pushes the he said, she said scenario to leverage their position, knowing full well the only defense is, of course our tech didn't say that, which leaves little in the way of evidence to back up their rebuttal. Service companies that use technology to document repairs, push soft skills, and make all parties accountable bring a level of third-party accountability to the end-user dealer-manufacturer relationship. But as said earlier by others, you have to be willing to pay for this level of service. Agree. So from my own experiences, and TJ, me and TJ probably kind of lived the same life, just in different states. And over the years, we've seen these things, and he's speaking from experience, and I agree with every single word this guy just said. For example, we have a tech win for XYZ manufacturer, it doesn't matter. And we get there and things are, the customer, we walk into things sometimes where the customer is just angry at the entire process. Check out this commercial behind me. where they're just angry with the entire process. You want to?
Yeah. There we go.
We're back. So we have a scenario where the customer sometimes is so pissed with the experience that they've already had before we even got there. I can't tell you how many times we sit here and the customer doesn't understand what all these politics and all these things that are going on behind the scenes before we even get there to tell them all these different crazy things about now you have to upgrade your electric, now you have to upgrade your plumbing, now you have to do all this. Well, no one told me that. I got nothing to do with it. I was just here to do a site survey install and tell you what's going on. So when you look at it from that perspective too, there's not enough education on the sales side. Customers are being sold dreams, and there's no conversation. Oftentimes we'll roll into a customer and they know nothing about anything that's about to happen. They don't know what the install includes. They don't know what the warranty includes. And when our techs get there for a warranty service call, a lot of times they're going to think that doesn't matter what it is. It's all in the warranty. So there's so many different perspectives on this. Ryan's particular thing where tech is going 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Listen, we don't like to get those callbacks. We don't like to go back on 2 calls, let alone 3. And we don't want our technicians saying, let it burn. My God, whoever is in charge of that needs to reel these people back in, because that is not right. That is not what we do. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, there's zero education coming from the sales side. And this is not to bash anybody. I mean, this is reality. This is not me. I think it's like this. No, I know it's like this because I have hundreds and hundreds of calls on my board every single day. We are busy as hell, pandemic or no pandemic, and TJ hits it on the head too. You think I could just roll? Oh, manufacturers, dealers, they call and go, hey, I need you to get there today. Well, I can't get there today. Is someone going to authorize overtime? Well, no, it's only 1 o'clock. You can't get there. So that's the other part of the problem. You think that I have 50, 60, 70, 80 technicians, and we're just sitting here waiting for the call to come in. We're waiting for a call, guys. Don't stay right there. Keep the van idle. We're getting no. That doesn't happen either. So TJ's on point. There's understaffing. There's expectations that have been set at a table we never sat at. We're gonna make sure that our service network is here 4 hours, and they're gonna have every part they need to fix it. And if they don't, they'll be back at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with the part. I mean, these are all unrealistic things, and it needs to change. And I love that Fed Nation is bringing these topics to the table, because the good news, I think, is that it's all fixable and repairable. There just needs to be, we have to break down these perceptions. There's too much perception. We all view the world differently. We all see things differently. But we have to break down these barriers that take the horse blinders off and start getting into big rooms together. Maybe something like the Fed conference, and getting into these rooms together collectively as reps and dealers and manufacturers and servicers and consultants and facilities, and getting into the rooms together and then talking about it and then putting actionable, executable items into play, and a place where we can congregate all year, kind of like the Fed group, and continue to call these things to bring these things to light and start knocking these things down and educating. This is a lack of knowledge on all of our parts. I'm not going to sit here and say I know what the dealers do on a daily basis and what reps do on a daily. I don't know that for sure. I have a perception. I don't know if it's right. I can tell you that I know what's right from my perspective, because I'm living in the service industry. I'm living in the food equipment service world for 2 decades, and I see it. I've seen a lot. I'm not saying I've seen it all. No one's ever seen it all. But damn, I've seen a lot. And what do we got here, Peter? Manufacturers too, by the way, not just dealers. Yeah, there needs to be a real higher level of educating the customer on equipment sales. And I do believe that with Fed Nation and the videos and the things that we're going to do with membership is going to help change the game. I'm not here to promote that. I'm just here to say it's coming. And with guys like Ryan and Peter and TJ and Roger and all of these big, beautiful minds in the industry, we're gonna put something together that's collectively the same language as we all say year in and year out, and make it right. So let's talk. Just talking about a technician. So I've had this come up many, many times over the years, where I'll have a rep call me and say, "Rich, your tech just said that this fryer is a piece of shit. What's going on, man?" And I'm like, "Well, hold on. Let me check into this right now, real quick." I pull it up. I go, "Okay, this is my senior tech. Been here 22 years. Okay, he knows the game. I'll say, sir, do me a favor. Let me call you back in a few. Pick up the phone and call my tech." I go pick up the phone. This is by the way, this is a real example. Pick up the phone. I call him. I go, Hey, brother. Hey, we got to, what's the situation here? I just got a call from the rep. This is gonna end up going up the chain. This is not good. Why are you telling the customer that this fryer is a piece of shit? Rich, I did not tell the customer this fryer is a piece of shit. This customer is pissed right now because the fryer hasn't worked since day one, and now we just arrived, and he says he wants a new unit. Now I know why the customer just told whoever he just told that we said it's a piece of shit, because he wants a new unit. And just like TJ said, we're the scapegoat at the end of the line. We walk in and now the technician said this. I said, okay, let me get back to you. I appreciate it. I know my technicians, and I know we all have bad days, but I know my guys. And this guy has been with us for over 2 decades. He knows not to ever say that. And I know his demeanor and his personality. That ain't him. So it blew my mind when I heard that. But when I called him to find out, sure enough, this customer, it was just nothing working from day one. He walked in, he was pissed. I want a new unit. And my tech is like, hey, listen, let me take a look at it and see what. But all of a sudden, he's screaming. So now he calls whoever he bought it from, probably the dealer, Then he tells the dealer, the technician says it's a piece of garbage, piece of shit. I want it out of here. I want a new unit. Then the dealer goes, you gotta be kidding me. And he calls the rep, and then the rep calls me. And it ain't real. It ain't true. And I'm not saying it's never true, because I'm sure there are technicians out there that do that. And I'll even go as far as, and I'm gonna be truthful, I'll even go as far as saying this. I have had a technician say that this thing is not working. We gotta get this thing out of here. It's garbage. And I called up my technician, this was some years ago, and he's no longer with me. And I said, did you say that this thing is garbage and they should have bought this manufacturer instead? And he was like, you're damn right I did. I said, well, thank you for your honesty. Who the hell are you to say that to them? You don't get paid for your opinion. Wrap it up. And I pulled him out of there and I sent another tech in. No. We don't do that. I don't care what you think about this manufacturer versus that manufacturer. Neither does the customer. They just want their unit to work. If you got an opinion, I always tell the guys, if you got an opinion on a job or a thing, leave, pick up the phone, call me, and let's talk about it. We can talk about it together. You got a problem, want to bash this, that, you want to yell and be screaming, call me. Let's do it. I'll do it with you. We'll do it together. We'll have some fun. But that is never acceptable. They pay the technician. We pay the technician to fix the problem, to be courteous and polite to the people around them, to the customer, to the manager, to the owner. I don't care who it is. All people we come in contact with, we are good to them. Not acceptable. But then there is the opposite spectrum, which I believe is 9.5 times out of 10. The customer just wants a new unit. And we've walked into fires where customers are pissed. Oh, you're the third service company they sent. I want a new unit. And then we're the ones that are going to get egg thrown at us and tomatoes, and then the dealers and the reps and the manufacturers. Why is your guy saying this? He didn't say that. They want a new unit. They're not happy. We're just there to fix it. And then you go talk and listen, we're talking about rates. We're talking about warranty rates too. You know, TJ says here, he ends his comment by saying, but as said earlier by others, you have to be willing to pay for the high level of service that you want. Do we all agree that service techs are being paid? And I'm not talking about by in-house, because we pay our techs very well, and I know TJ and all these other companies pay their techs very well. I'm talking about the warranty rates or the labor rates that we get. That's another story for another day. But TJ says it flat out. You want high level? You gotta pay for high level. You know, when you go buy a Hyundai, or you go buy a Tesla or a Mercedes, there's two different spectrums here. Have you been to the Lexus and Mercedes and all these service centers? They look a little bit different.
So
let's jump on some comments.
yes, there's a lot of comments, and just I'm gonna go through the comments first, and then Ryan, I will reach out to you aside so I can get you on here as well. But anyway, let's go through the comments.
Just start at the top, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All fairness to sales, they don't know. Their only objective is to sell product according to price and specs.
Mike, my brother, yes. Good to see you yesterday, by the way. Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game. I've actually, you know, my tech was on site with a dealer, probably back close to last summer, and he flat out said, "Listen, dude, I just sell the stuff and I move on to the next one." Like because he was looking for a little help and support, trying to explain things to the customer on site while he was there. Dude, I sell it. I move on to the next one. All right. That's the answer. This is the mentality. This is what's out there. This is the problem. So we need to all do better. I agree. We all need to do better. We all need to have better trainings for our people. We all need to do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, most of these service companies, especially my Safetsa service network people, man, they do it right. They do it right. You know, I'm gonna shout them out. I'm gonna shout out EMR. I'm gonna shout out Clark. I'm going to shout out Cobra Service and American Kitchen and Elmer Schultz, Windy City Equipment. I mean, I could sit here and try to think of all these companies that are doing it right. So there's a break in the channel, and a lot of it does stem from the sales part, leading the customer into a place that doesn't really exist. You walk into a customer's location and there's a broken door handle and the unit's 3 weeks old. Well, when I go in with my new technology of video and picture, and we're documenting everything, and I send that back to the manufacturer, you want to know what they're going to say? Bill the customer. Oh, well, this is going to be a tough one. Oh, sorry. It's not a defect to the unit. That was probably user abuse. Door handles don't just break and fall off. Okay. Rich, there's a ripped door gasket here. Send it up to the manufacturer. We're not paying for that. It's door gaskets, wear and tear. Really? Bill the customer. Okay. Do we all understand what warranty is and what warranty covers? That's another big conversation. So
I'm gonna cut you off, Mr. Richard, because I want to get through the comments. I could bring Ryan on. So I'm gonna skip Ryan's comments for now since he'll be coming on with us. But Peter says,
we're coming, Ryan. Thank you.
Yes, but warranty is a constantly avoided topic. Walk-in coolers are the worst, in my opinion, because they don't make the refrigeration, but their name is on the box.
Yeah, that's Peter. That's definitely another thing. I know you come from that world too with a lot of the walk-ins. That's the truth. It's tough. Let's keep rolling.
Sales needs to continue to collaborate and communicate and let you know when we have a large order into your area so you are aware. Who does a great job with this?
Nobody.
That was pretty damn honest. Don't mean to argue, but Colpack is pretty good with warranty and parts on refrigeration as well as the box.
Sure. Oh, listen, by the way, this is not about bashing anybody. This is collective. Like we all got, like Mountain Parts and Service got to do better. All right? We got to do better. I know that. If you think that we're not here every day figuring out how to be better, like we are. Manufacturers and reps, they're all sitting in their offices saying, how do we be better? We all have to figure out how to be better. That's what this conversation is. That's why this conversation is so vital and great that we get to have them. Yeah, keep going.
I'm going to bring Ryan in, actually.
Let's bring Ryan in, the man of the hour. Bringing things to the table. I love it.
Let's go, Rich.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ryan McPhail.
Can you hear me okay?
We hear you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on. Sorry it took a while to hop on here. I'm not, I guess, that IT savvy when it comes to Facebook Live.
No, listen, you're good. Happy to have you. This is a great topic you brought to the table.
Yeah, thanks for everybody hopping on the conversation. I really hope this didn't come across as me trying to attack the service side or anything like that, because by all means, that is not what it is.
I don't think that at all. I thought
Yeah.
you hit on some good things.
Like I had mentioned in one of my comments, is we understand that there's a disconnect on all different sides of it. And we really try to support. Like I said, I know that for a service side, it's difficult to get a customer to pay for something that ends up not being warranty. We try to give them open POs or credit cards. Take care of it for your guys' side. We'll deal with the argument between the customer on that side. Yeah. It seems to just be an ongoing battle, and it's not. I mean, we're using well-known brands, and I know that they still have problems as well. We use well-known service techs. I know that labor is a difficult one right now that everybody's battling. They're not being able to retain staffing and techs that are trained and stuff. But it's like you said, Rich. I respect a service tech's opinion on the product, and come to us and talk to it. Let's talk about it and see if we're doing something wrong. Don't tell the customer, because then it makes all three of us look terrible on site, and that just becomes and I know customers can make some stuff up, but it's too often happening right now. And
yeah. No, I think this is a lesson for people running service companies right now too. This is a topic that I actually bring up in our quarterly meetings, and I kind of keep punching this down, punching people in the face with a lot of the same things, meeting in and meeting out, because this topic this comes up maybe at least twice a quarter, I would say, where I'll get a call. It's not like crazy, but it does come from time to time. And if we get a half a dozen of those a year, it doesn't make us look good, because then everyone, listen, regardless of what was said, we all now have these thoughts in our head. Now, Malachi Tech said it. That the customer said he did, but then it's just all, like you said, it's all bad. That's why I said we don't get paid for our opinion. If we want to talk about it behind the scenes, like you said, I'll pick up the phone, call the rep, and go, listen, my tech said that we sold the UIS, that this was sold, but it's never going to actually do what the customer wants it to do. Maybe just revisit it and see if they need a separate unit or whatever it might be. but that needs to go on behind the scenes.
Definitely, because we try to be upfront with our customers as well. There are some lines that we know manufacturers that the customer service is not great with, but sometimes a customer really wants that product, and we'll tell them up front, we'll sell you this product, but we don't stand behind it. We will help you get the service online as quickly as possible, but they are known to be behind the ball on that. So we try to be upfront with our customers, but that's why we try to focus on the brands that we team up well with.
Yeah, and just to talk to your point on whatever this experience you had with a technician saying let it burn, that's mind blowing. Whoever that is, I mean, I know it's tough because we're in an industry where we talk about the lack of techs and everything. And it's like it's hard to just say you're fired, get out of here, because we need these men and women that are out there in the trenches. And I don't know if they need to be fired, but they need to be reeled in. So whoever that was, man, that is.
Yeah, we're dealing with that. I mean, we're at this point now because of that comment and others. We're replacing this $10,000 unit, and we're using a different service tech to hopefully put it in, just so that we don't have this issue. But I mean, yeah, it's a tough one all around.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you're obviously selling equipment out there.
Yeah.
When you're sitting down with these customers, what does that sales process look like for you? Are you talking? I mean, obviously you're going to talk about the bells and whistles. You got to show what the unit does. You got to talk about the menu, I imagine, and all these things. And you're giving demos, I suppose. Is there any talk about what installations might look like? Because a lot of times we'll walk in and the customer is so blindsided that they now have to pay an electrician $4,000 and a plumber $8,000, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't plan."
Absolutely. So us being different than most dealers out there, we have our own inside design team and our own inside installation team. So we don't granted, we still outsource some install, and then of course the service warranty calls are outsourced because those are all by certified technicians. So we do sit down and have that conversation with them. Of course, we're speccing products that line up with their menu and hopefully getting a consistent line of products across the cook line and not having every brand in there. But we talk about the service that's happening or that you would have to maintain on those products. We talk about, we do the full plumbing and electrical schedule for the drawing. So we're the ones that are on the hook for making sure that we're specifying the correct connections for that. We don't actually do the final electrical or plumbing connections because we are not certified plumbers or electricians. But yes, we have that communication with the general contractor or the customer, making sure that their plumber and electrician is in the loop on what's going on, making sure that rough-in is all proper so that when we bring in the piece of equipment, all they have to do is a connection on it and don't have to try to rewire anything completely. So,
yeah.
But we miss stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're going to miss stuff, but we do try pretty hard.
Yeah, that's going to happen. I mean, we're human. There's going to be times where, and that's why I said before you came on, I'm saying we all got to do better. If you think that, like, I'm sitting here saying that Malachi's perfect, my God, we make mistakes every day, every single day. But I think we have to understand that we have to own those mistakes and fix them and repair them. And sometimes that costs us $1,000 here or $500 here. But we're here for long term. It's partnerships, it's relationships. So we have to do better collectively, I think. So we're always going to have the mishaps. But what about warranty? Is there any discussions from you or in your team over there? Are you sitting down and going? Because sometimes there's the warranty thing. These customers think that they can take a bat to the door and it's it's covered.
Yeah, I will agree with some of the comments. That's probably needs to be a better conversation. We have this has a 1-year warranty, a 2-year warranty. The refrigeration's got a 5-year warranty on it. But what we don't have, and especially in the Pacific Northwest, we have a lot of rural areas. We don't have enough conversation on like trip charges. So currently I'm trying to spec a combi oven on a coastal product that's 5 hours away from any service tech. And so we're having that conversation ahead of time, like, hey, here's the installation, but there's going to be a trip charge. And when it gets to a warranty, this brand will support it as much as they can. But if they come out there and it doesn't happen to be an actual warranty issue, you're not only on the hook for that service call, but you're on the hook for now a 10-hour round trip charge. We have the I-5 corridor that there's service techs available everywhere, but anything beyond that, we're very sparse on getting people out there. So that's a topic that we try to tell our customers, especially at the coast, like, hey, that is not part of warranty no matter what it is. If customer comes out or if a tech comes out for a warranty issue, there may still be a service charge, you know, for the trip charge on top of that.
And that's, so we're in a heavily populated area here, so I don't even think about stuff like that on a daily basis. But that is really a tough situation to have to sell. You want to make the sale, you want to get the equipment out there, you want to do the right thing, but man, 10-hour round trip.
Yeah, when they know that they're going to have up to $1,000 extra charge on a warranty that, you know, may not be charged for the actual parts and labor, they kind of think about it like, wow, that's, you know. But most of our, once again, going back to the fact that we try to use larger and reputable manufacturers, most of them are understanding and will work with a local tech that may not be a certified technician. Maybe it's an electrician or a plumber that can do that help with that issue there and send out parts and try to get away from that extra charge on there. But, you know, that's what I'm looking for advice from you guys is what conversations about the warranty should we be having on top of that? I mean, we do try to have, like you mentioned, gaskets. Hey, if you're slamming a probe cable in the door every time and it starts to pinch that cable over and over because you're not putting it in the right slot.
Yeah.
We may replace the first one, but the next 3 we're not going to replace.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best way that I always explain to customers is that warranty is, simply put, is a defect to the unit. That means a defect to any of the parts. That's it. So if there's an installation issue with a gas pressure issue, calibration issue, and some manufacturers might pay for the first calibration, but a lot of times no. So those are things that are not going to be covered. And if there's not a defect to the contactor or to the motor or something else, it's just not going to be covered. And wear tear items like gaskets and door handles, those are rarely ever covered. And then we have to go, we submit these things to the manufacturer and they're like, well, build a customer.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is going to be brutal. So I build a customer, and then the customer calls the dealer, and the dealer calls me. What the hell are you billing my customer for? And I'm going to say, well, I'll send you the rejection letter from the manufacturer. And then we go around for 6 months, and then the manufacturer pays for it. My $240 bill 6 months later. So it's
cost you more money to try to fight for that 240 than it did to get it.
Yeah, it's a loss. I mean, so that's, if I'm sitting down with a customer, in my mind, I would just kind of be going over a lot of these things, acts of nature, power outages. We've gone into so many, and it's unfortunate for the customer, it is, but, we've gone into a power outage where a compressor was blown. And, we have to document these things. And once we send this stuff back, they're like, well, no, there's a power outage, shorted, bill a customer for the compressor. And listen, the manufacturer will sometimes step up and they'll say, well, you know what, we'll actually send the compressor, but they got to pay the labor. So sometimes we find ways to meet in the middle, which I think is important.
Yeah.
To soften the blow for everybody involved, because we want that customer to be happy and come back. So there's a lot of tough things here, but I don't think it's, like I said in the beginning of this, I don't think this is unfixable. It's repairable. We talk about talking the same language in this industry at all the conferences I go to. I think the more we meet guys like me and you have conversations, we could begin to talk the same language, because I know we want you to win. We want you selling equipment. And we just want, when we get to site, the customer to maybe be a little bit more in the know, like, oh, okay, so, this is why you sent me that warranty disclaimer and you needed my credit card, because when you called in, it sounded like this was going to be water damage. Because people were hosing equipment down at night. So, I'll tell you, it's tough. We got some comments here. You want to?
Yes.
Let's look what Taz has to say.
Warranty understanding is not there. Warranty documents usually just say parts and labor, not excluding this or that. And to someone else's comment, it is the avoided conversation due to the conflict involved. But we need to stop setting up people to take the fall and have open conversations on all sides. I include myself with needing to be better at it as well. Not blaming, just commenting.
It sounds like blaming, Taz. I'm just kidding.
And that's where, working with you guys could be better for our side of the industry. On the dealer side is maybe we need to rewrite our O&Ms. We need to rewrite how we specify this information to being relayed to the customer. Because yes, the standard O&M that's printed out from Auto Quotes is going to state parts and labor, 2-year warranty for a defect, and that's about as far as it goes. We do add in. I mean, an O&M manual for a project could be 600 pages long. And we do put in the warranty sheets that come from the manufacturer that have all that, but maybe we just need to have something more upfront at the beginning of it that kind of, lays out this scenario that, hey, these are the things that can be covered and these are the things that won't be covered.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and Jesse said more meet in the middle conversations. Sounds good. Yeah. I mean, and that's definitely, up for discussion. We should meet in the middle in sometimes in some scenarios. I think with what we're doing with the Fed group and everybody kind of just, especially jumping in on this topic, we should probably get together some kind of a roundtable discussion with some dealers, some reps, some service guys, some manufacturers, get on a Zoom and maybe we start putting together something. We're going to be putting out the fedgroup.com, the new site. Maybe there's a place where there's an educational center that we all can go and refer to, and something so we all can start speaking the same language. Would you be interested in jumping on a roundtable?
Absolutely.
Awesome. I think this might be the step in the direction because, from my experience, there's a lot of talk, but then as we just kind of go back to our lives. And that's one of the things I love about the group and the community, that we keep talking about it day in and day out. So now I think if we put some actionable items, we could actually start to change the game because it's possible.
I agree.
Yeah, and I shame on any techs out there and owners and leaders and allowing that stuff to happen. We have to be better. Like I said, who knows? TJ said, who knows where the truth actually lies sometimes in that stuff. But we could all do a little bit better, and that's I think what the driving message here is. Let's do better together. So
we all want to make everybody's job a little bit easier and less frustrating at times.
Yeah, and make some money and make our people happy and go back and make some more money. I mean, that's
hopefully that part's hopefully.
Yeah, we could feed our families and be happy because man, I think we all love this industry. That's why we're here. So I think we'll take it down with that. Do you have anything else? Any last words you want to?
No, I appreciate you letting me hop on and talk with you here.
Anytime you want to do a live, just let me know. We have anything else to, because I love bringing all this stuff to the table. So
absolutely.
All right, brother.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your Friday.
Oh, you too.
All right, my brother Ryan, bringing the hot topic to the table, and see this is what these discussions are about. Do we have any comments that we missed?
I love that. I have learned something just from you two speaking. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jesse. I'm glad we were able to bring some sensibility to the table. I hope. Before we take this down, though, we go back to this thread because let me see, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, well, we touched on a lot of the stuff. Dean Landesh, who has been around for a long time, knows his stuff. He said there's two kinds of technician training: technical and people skills. The best techs master both types and are treasured by service agencies and customers. Then there are those who lack one or both. Some of the best service companies find methods like customer ratings to reward and retain those use both set skills. Remember, what is measured and rewarded is valued. As a dealer, one step you can take is to recommend and use service companies which use this kind of practice. Dean is he says it really well. What is measured and rewarded is valued.
That hits deep.
Yeah, and that's something that we were looking at here as far as measuring all these metrics, all these different things. We want to start delivering better customer care, because I promote care as our tag. Malachi cares, right? What does care mean? Care means a lot of different things, but when you look at it from like Dean says, from the technical perspective and the soft skill side. And again, I'm not promoting what's going on with Fed, but there's going to be some stuff with Gold Collar University. Gold Collar is really about that soft skill stuff, and we're going to be doing some videos. We're going to be doing some chatter. We're going to get real technicians in the field, giving their 2 cents on these things. We're going to drive soft skills home, because a lot of this does come back to how we talk and treat people. And we're not just in the repair game. We're in the people game. We're in the people business. You know, when a technician walks through that door, if I'm going out into the world and I'm going to our customers and I walk through that door, I'm selling myself, I'm representing my company, I need to be on point, and I need to be respectful. And these things need to be driven home. And, you know, when you don't drive them home day in and day out, and you have your technicians out in their vans and they're driving around, they feel like they're on an island. And for us here, we're doing certain things to try to not let them feel like they're on an island. I want them to feel the culture. And I think that's important for any business, especially when you have remote people and you have people, especially who just work from home today, and technicians on the road, salespeople on the road. They could start to not feel that sense of culture that you're trying to build in these walls. And we're building it on people first here. And I know in my heart that that's what it is, but I gotta let these people know. I gotta let these technicians know it's real. So we have to do better at our training, on our soft skills, and it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it collectively. And I'm excited. Fed Conference 22, this is something we need to work into the agenda, into the content, because though it's focused towards digital branding and marketing, this is digital branding and marketing. In a sense, because we need to get these men and women up on these skills, and we should put it out into the digital world. Let the world see what we are, who we are, how we really operate. We're not going to worry about the little 1%ers out there that are given bad names. They'll eventually go. We're the ones who are going to make it right. With that said, it's Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay fired up. If you got topics to talk about, I want to know about them. I want you on this show. Let's do it. Let's get loud together. Fired up on a Friday, baby. I'll see you next week.